Hello, hello. It seemed like this morning I screwed up the clay miner. I'm going to record myself fixing it in case something else happened in the future. You guys are going to be able to see what we do to fix this kind of problem. And I'm going to give you some tips about what to do and what to try to avoid. Okay. So let's begin. So yesterday I changed the clay miner to fix. There was some kind of latency, if I can say. Sometimes the spawner won't be able to spawn because uh, their random was broken and if something like this. So I think when players were reporting that the clay miner were a little bit slower, I think it was the issue. So let's what kind of language I am right now? Let's put it in English, please. There you go. Okay, so let's go to the level. I heard that the problem was general everywhere. So if I go here, let me just put this thing so my level won't be broke. And as a stuff, you have the command slash golden bone that is going to spawn the. Did I make a mistake? Golden bone. Why doesn't work? Slash golden bone. I'm too tired to understand why it doesn't work, but I'm going to just go with the old way. Oh, I don't have my UI, so that's why it wasn't working. You see, that's a problem when you are half awake and half. Okay, so I'm going to repair it. From there, what we are going to see is I'm going to destroy. I don't need to destroy because there's a very special thing about the. Let me just build a shovel. Okay, when you try to fix a problem, it is important to understand what it does and why it does this. So in general case, I will teach you to not play with very complex system. Like by example, the crystal, it is one of these complex system that even for me and Ling, it need very a lot of concentration to fix. But some smaller system can be sometime more easy to fix. And I'm going to show you how to check them. I am still spawning stuff. Yes, I think it started to work. I don't know why it doesn't work because I tested it yesterday. So I'm going to have to test and see what is wrong with it. Okay, so let's first replicate the issue, making sure that it is a real issue and not just some ghost stuff. You see right now it is spawning, so I'm very surprised that people complain it's not working. Because in general I always test my stuff, but I see there was still people complain about the little number appearing on the clay miner. So let's see. Right now it's set to 0, so it's spawning. So I'm very curious about what is going on. Okay, let me explain a little bit how the clay spawner works. Every time that you mine a clay, it is going to be replaced with some kind of empty pit object that we use for marking the empty spot. Okay. So probably what is going on here, it's probably that some of the empty pit have been replaced by construction over it, stuff that the player probably put, because right now if I have one it is still working, and let's see if there's not other one. Okay, I'm just curious about it. um, it doesn't seem to spawn more. It is, oh no, it has spawned some more. Yeah, it does work. Okay, so let me remove all the empty pit and all the click just to see if what is what. You see now we have the error. That's the stuff that the player report. Okay, so we have a 0 that is going to help us a lot to identify where the code is going and why it is bugged. Okay, so if I press, as a developer, what you can do is you can see the code of the object. So if you press P, this is going to open a page and you are going to have exactly the cutting of the object. Since you are not familiar with the object, what I will or the code, what I would suggest you is open the page 2 times. Okay, so this is my backup page that if I ever screw up anything, I'm going to be able to return back to this one. And if I press P a second time, this is the page that we are going to exit. Okay, so it's probably maybe the first time you are playing with a blueprint, or it's something that you don't know how it works, or you didn't think about the change that you are going to do that can screw up the entire system. So make sure that you open a second one, then you change this one, you save. I'm going to show you how to change stuff, and if the problem persists, I'm going to show you how to revert back to this previous stage. So we are going to use this one as a backup. Okay, great. So if we check right now the scripting, what it does, it finds the object that we use 5886, which is the empty object here. You see, if I put my cursor over it, I'm going to be able to see that on your right corner we have the 5886. Okay, that is the object that we are looking. So the object is going to look for this empty object. If it succeeds, it's going to go at the top and change it to become a clay block so that you can mine it. Okay, block effect. So it does a block effect and then it finish. It set a variable which is the last timestamp that the object has worked. So we use a timestamp to understand. I think it was an old system and right now it's not in use. So sometimes we have very old stuff like this one. The clay miner is planned to be the clay spawner is planned to be completely redone to have everything incorporated into one. So it is a old script that we are going to support. But when we have the problem, okay, it is working when we have the object on the ground. Okay, so if you see here, when we have this object, hello. So when we have this object here, the system is working. So that is not a problem because when we go on the top of the script, it is working. So when it fails, that's where the problem comes. So if it fails, it is going to loop object for finding a clay. Okay. So if it succeed, if it fail, if it whatever, it's going to pop a UI. And this is exactly what we have. The little 0 that we see, that's where the problem, when the problem happens. You see, fail. I'm going to write cell. Okay. When we made some change to the blueprint, try to not remove every configuration or every script or anything, but you can add these little pop-up to understand a little bit better where the coding is going. So right now we have this pop-up text. Right now I'm going to add this failed parameter. So I'm going to save, Control S, then I go inside the game, and what you need to do, you have to tell the server to reload the blueprint. So I'm going to press R. You see it's creating this red circle around me. Then what I say, you see that under the clay there is this yellow marker that tell me there is a blueprint, there's a brain. So right now what we just done is we reload this blueprint, and from there now the change that we done to the blueprint are live onto the server. Okay. So I'm going to delete again the clay, and from there the system is supposed to appeal to me, tell me that it fell. Okay, fail. You see right now. So it's not mean that the system is broken. It's just that the code is going here, and I write it fail. Okay. So when the code is getting here, so if the object finder didn't find any empty object, if the clay if the clay miner, clay spawner was not able to find any clay, okay, it's looking for a radius of 6, and it's looking the amount of clay that there is around it. Okay, if there's more, if the number is smaller than 5, it is going to true. So we are going to do some scripting here. If the scripting is higher than 5, smaller than, it's a bit complicated because it is inverse, but you see that the script is going to go here. Okay, So if you look here, strangely I only see the thing, so let's make it I'm going to put back the number just in case to see. uh, so if the number is smaller or equal than 5, we are going to true. So the problem is probably right here somewhere. Okay, it's going to search for object here, but if you check here, we already failed the system. So I add this as a random. This little node here is very problematic. It is not made, that is a bit complicated to explain, but it is not made uh, to search for a location or a block. It's meant for the NPC, and it's going to search for a destination that it is very safe for NPC to move. So if there's a tree, there's an object, or there's a, I think the problem is probably from here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, instead of using the get random location that is causing the problem, we are going to create a loop. I have some food in the oven for my breakfast, so I hope I get the chance to finish. And what we are going to check, instead of having to double check if this, I won't take it like this. Let me remove that part here. There you go. So instead of using this node here, which is get random location, it will be fixed in the future, because I know that node here it is problematic. So we are going to create our very own get random location. Okay. And from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check randomly get block. Okay. What this script does, it is very simple. It will look in a radius of 6 block by 6 block. Okay. I'm going to reduce this a little bit because it will be a square and I don't have the scripting to do a super complex beautiful circle. So let's just keep it simple, because right now I need to fix the clay miner faster, but I'm going to put probably later something a little bit more advanced. Okay. So what we are going to do is, if it failed to find an empty block, we are going to generate one. Okay. And this is exactly what we want to do. We want to add more empty objects so the scripting can restart and it can have more clean. Okay. So what we are going to look for a block, a random block in the area, which 4 by 4, and from there we are going to check a condition number condition menu number, there you go. And if the object ID that we found, okay, is 0, because we want to place the object on 0, and if the region of the object is not, because right now if you check this part here, it is region 2, and most of the time we use region 2 as the road of the map. Okay, so we don't want to spawn clay on the middle of the road. So if the region of the road is 2, okay, if it failed, it's going to return back to its loop. So we are going to check multiple times, because it is random, it is sometimes doesn't working, and if it also true, if we've managed to get a block that is on the road, we are also going to continue the loop. Okay, let's give it a chance of 10 try, and from there, if we manage to pass all the condition, we are going to create get block, that is the get block. Do I need it? Location object ID. So there was already a check here for the object that is really on the empty object. So I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to connect this one here to simple change block. So we are going to create the clay. Sorry, I have some allergy this morning. that happen when I don't sleep a lot. And so there you go. So I'm going to destroy this, You see right now that I have a simple change block. Very important that the block won't appear at 0, 0, because that is going to spawn the block at the extremity of the map, and you are going to wipe some setting and everything. So there we go. What it does right now is going to change the, let me see, 5882. So this is going to create an empty object with the clay into it. So it doesn't spawn exactly a clay on the spawn. So what it technically do is the script is going to look for, I don't know why it's working on my game. It is very weird. People reported that it's on board, but anyway, I think it with the get random location, it doesn't work into very specific location. Okay, so probably not the right region or right stuff. I think we lose the game. I don't know why, but we lose the game. So I'm going to return back to the game. We're going to test it back. I was sure it was loading. There you go. Okay. So now that we made the change, let's remove this one here. This part here is now disconnected because if it failed, what happened? If it's over it, it's not going to execute it. Is it right? Let me just remove this thing here so we won't have the pop-up text in case. So if it find if it doesn't find this, but it find account, and it is okay. So if it failed to find the empty object, but there is clay around, it won't spawn anything. Okay, so it's going to go straight to the end and it won't do anything. Okay, great. So let's give it a try. You see that there's a lot of garbage into the system. It has been, I think, edited a lot. That system, like I say, is going to be much improved in the future. Okay, so let me close the phone. There you go. So now I have my UI. I can see that it is working. Okay, we just regenerate the thing. I'm going to remove all of this one here. And there you go. Let me be fast. And if you need to testing and want to see something working and you have to wait for it, sometimes you can cheat a little bit. So instead of having a random, you can just remove it. There you go. So you see now that it is spawning, and even if we don't have the object, let me just remove it. You see now that what it does, it is exactly what we do. It's spawning the empty object, and after that, when they find the empty object, he is going to be able to find this part here. I think one of the problems that we have right now, and let me show you, I think that's the reason why people complain right now. Let me just check. I think I realize what is wrong. OP tower. If we check here, yes, somebody. No, it is working. Okay, I will have to keep a very alert eye on the reason why it suddenly stopped working. I mean, from what I'm looking right now, I think it will work. So we are going to just leave it this way. Okay. I'm going to put back the random because right now it's going to be a little bit too strong. So let's give it a try. Probably going to get some more sleep, but right now you guys should have this update. I'm going to show you one last thing. You remember that we put 2 blueprints, okay? And the reason for that is that if in case you made a change, sometimes it is very alarming problem and people are online and complaining, and this is the anarchy and chaos. So if it happened that you are not capable of fixing the problem and you just screw the entire stuff and this doesn't work, you spend 1 hour, people are complaining or anything, you just return to the previous version, you save, and you put back the current version. Okay. You didn't fix the problem, but at least you did not make it worse. Okay. So let me just save the new one. Also, another very important thing is when the blueprint is loaded inside the world, I think as long as you didn't change it for them, their blueprint is going to be the old one. Okay, so go into their world and reload their asset. And when you reload the asset, be careful on where you put your cursor. Okay, because if you reload the crystal, you are going to screw the game. This is going to kill the crystal and is going to restart the game. If you reload, by example, this thing here, you see that this entrance has the spawner, so you are going to reload the spawner, and this can lead some trouble to the game. Okay, if it ever happen and you are stuck in this very complex problem, you can always type this command here, restart, and this is going to restart the world. If for some reason the player almost has finished the level, they are going to be very pissed if you make them restart. You can type win, and you are going to help them having this level completed. So, and what I like also to do when I enter a level of a player, discreetly, very discreetly, sometimes I hide OP tower next to the crystal. So if they need to talk to me or we have to discuss about the problem, I'm making sure that they don't lose their level, because it is very annoying to have to lose your level because the game has a bug. So I just hide one there and I continue to work, and so this way they don't lose any health or anything. Okay, great. So let's hope the change that I made this morning fix the issue. I'm going to post you guys the video, so if you have some problem in the future like this, maybe you can give a look. Like I said, if it seemed too complicate, just abort the mission. Let the job on me and Link. Garpy also help with the blueprint, but sometimes some blueprint are very easy, and sometimes the error that we done are just mistake that we do, like I said yesterday. I was very tired, so I just pushed the thing. I tested, but I didn't test it when it was all empty. So hope this fixed the problem. I'm going to keep an eye. Probably when I wake up, I'm going to give it a look and see if it fixed the problem. Okay, so take care, guys.